Greetings. Assalamu alaikum. The last time we were talking about Ayah 22 in Surah 2, and I promised to speak about what is Jannah, paradise. Now, if you leave it to the Christians and the Jews will tell you it was somewhere in Iraq, today's Iraq, in old Babylon, in an area called Eden, and on the east side of Eden. This means that Jannah, paradise, was on earth, or it was in earth. Anyway, if you go to the Christians, according to the Christians, Paul said that the paradise is in the third heaven, above, third heaven. But if you come to the Muslims and the Quran, Allah says that the width of Jannah, عرضها كعرض السماوات والأرض, in width. And when Allah says width, meaning the shape of Jannah is a rectangle, because it has a width, then it should have a length, and the length is sometimes doubles than the width. The width is always shorter in distance. So it's rectangular in shape, it has a width and the length. The width of it, the smaller distance of it, is equal to the distance of the seven heavens and earth. So the seven heavens inside the throne cannot acquire paradise inside. So it should be outside. Do we have another example about this in the Noble Quran in Surah 53, Surah An-Najm? Allah said that when Muhammad ﷺ merged up, Mi'raj, to the throne, Allah says, Sidrat al-Muntaha, the throne, Sidrat al-Muntaha, عندها Jannat al-Mawa. Right by the throne is the Jannah of residence that the believers will inherit come the time. So the Jannah is عند Sidrat al-Muntaha, not inside the throne, but by the throne, in front of the throne. Because Allah says, those believers who make it to Jannah, paradise, إِلَى رَبِّهِمْ يَنْظُرُونَ, they are looking at the Lord. Today we believe without seeing, but that day we'll be praying to the one we can see. But and this is the reward of believing while we cannot see, in the ghaib. All right, let's go back to Ayah 22. Why we should say, we said, عبدوا ربكم, worship your Lord, and we are explaining why. الذي خلقكم والذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون, and what else? The one that He made the earth level like a bed for you to rest. What else? And the heavens as a building to protect us from so many things. We explained that the last video. وَأَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً, and He brought from the heaven, the space above our heads, water, rain. And Allah explained in the Quran a complete process, how the water evaporates from the oceans with the heat of the sun, and then driven by the wind to a cold area, and then condenses from water vapor to become water drops, or ice, drops of ice, or snow, dripping back down to where they came from. They came from the planet Earth, up, back down. It's a system that Allah created, and continuous, non-stop. And He brought water from the heaven, and from this water فَأَخْرَجَ بِهِ مِنَ الثَّمَرَاتِ رِزْقًا لَكُمْ. He brought, because of this process of dripping the water to water the good earth, to bring for you different kind of fruits as a result. Grass, wheat, trees, everything. From this process of dropping the water from above to water the ground. فأخرج به من الثمرات رزقا لكم. He blessed you with so many fruits as a blessing for you. فلا تجعلوا لله أندادا وأنتم تعلمون. Do not make equals to Allah, the Lord, the provider, who did all this for you, while you know what you are doing. It's not an action that you do not understand, or you are misguided, or there is a fog on your mind. You cannot comprehend what you are doing. No, you know. When you worship a man like Jesus Christ, then you know that you are doing the wrong thing. You are intentionally doing this. When you worship Shiva or Krishna or Vishnu, intentionally doing this. While Allah was very clear, don't do that. Don't do that. And then Allah proceeds and says, وَإِن كُنتُمْ فِي رَيْبٍ مِّمَّا نَزَّلْنَا عَلَى عَبْدِنَا فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّن مِّثْلِهِ وَادْعُوا شُهَدَاءَكُمْ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. And if you have any doubt, a shred of doubt, about what we gave through our worshipper Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, if you have any doubt about this message that we gave to Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam to deliver to you and to mankind, if you have a shred of doubt, so فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّن مِثْلِهِ. Okay? To rest your brain and your hearts to peace, just bring a surah, one chapter, even the smallest surah in the book. إِنَّا أَعْطَيْنَاكَ الْكَوْثَرَ. Bring a surah like that from somebody like him, like Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Bring one surah, even the smallest surah, 3 ayahs, 3 verses, from someone like him. Someone like him. What does that mean? Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam never read a book, never written any pages, never went to school to learn, to educate himself. He was non-literate. Non-literate. Not literate. Not educated. Ummi. He doesn't have, read anything in his life. He doesn't know how to read or to write. So bring from someone like him, living in the middle of the desert, Arabian Peninsula, bring one small chapter, like the one in the Noble Qur'an, even the smallest surah, smallest chapter, from someone like him. Now, we have been challenged recently from many idiots in the world. They made up some gibberish, nonsense, ignorance, with the rotten temptation of their evil hearts, and they said, here, we can do it. Yeah, but you are not like Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. You don't have anything close to how Muhammad was. He doesn't have your education, he doesn't have your literacy, he doesn't have the internet at his disposal, the computers, the digital world. None of the above. He was in the middle of the desert, and he never read or write or watched TV to learn, or heard the radio or from others. None of the above. Nothing. So this speech is a challenge for those people around him who are like him. Because the ayah says, the verse says, min mithlihi, from someone like him. none amongst you, stupid evil, who trying to do this, are like Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, or his state as a human being, or the state of those who were around. Not in a million years. Because the knowledge that reach your ears, no need for you to write or read, just by hearing others saying, you have so much knowledge. You are so educated today. He did not have this kind of education back then. So the challenge to bring from somebody like him, and that challenge stand. None of them was able to do that. None. And Allah say, وَدْعُوا شُهَدَاءَكُمْ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. And call your witnesses. Call your witnesses apart from Allah, if you are telling the truth. What does that mean? If you bring someone and you say, this is like Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, this is like him, never read, never studied, doesn't know anything, no knowledge, he was like a simple, average human being in the middle of the desert. And he is bringing this chapter, surah, that you challenged, and you want us to do that. So bring witnesses that will witness, honest witnesses, to say, yes, this is true. None of them was able to do that. None. And the ayahs spoke in such sure tone, Allah is speaking with such confidence, because He knows everything around. So all the efforts of the evil, rotten evil today, a man named Anish Roush, Palestinian, Jordanian, American citizen, lived in California before he went to jail. I don't know where the hell he is right now. He made a book, and he called it Furqan. And he said, this is the true Qur'an. This is the true book of the Muslims, while the Qur'an is a false book of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. And if you read it, you will feel so disgusted from the language of this miserable man. And many others, they tried. Like somebody said, Surah Al-Mu'minun, the believers surah, chapter. They try. But at the end, they prove how stupid they are. Because the magnificence of the Quran, no human being can match. Not even with all the computers around. Very well. Allah says, after He challenges, He answers. He doesn't wait for you to try. And we'll do this next time, inshallah. We'll go to ayah 24. Assalamu alaikum.